Radiothon to benefit the MACC Fund. Presented by Window Nation. Call 414-978-9500 to make your donation or go online to 1029thehog.com. Now, here's Bob and Brian.
Yeah, it's our MACC Fund Radiothon, all brought to you by Window Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the program. He's from so many places. You find him all over the place. It's Brian Anderson. Hello, Brian. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Great to be with you again. I feel like this sneaks up on us every year.
And it always sneaks up on in your busy season. I mean, you just called like 918 basketball games.
Yeah.
I know. Taxing the instrument, you know?
And then baseball starts right away. It's right on the cusp there. You flipped from one to the other.
Yeah, I did 3 games. I think I pulled off a broadcasting first.
Go ahead. What is it?
So we had a walk-off Wednesday, a squeeze bunt walk-off with the Brewers, right?
Right. Bryce Terang puts down the perfect bunt down the first base line. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Excellent knowledge. I knew Stephanie was in there. Did she write that down for you guys? Or did...
No.
Stephanie's class place.
Genius move down.
He's dealt with this before.
I have to mansplain everything with these guys, but thank you, Stephanie, for helping them today. We had a walk-off Wednesday. I called that. And then last night, I called a buzzer beater in the NBA. So 2 game-ending plays in 2 different sports in 2 different cities in back-to-back days.
That is pretty good.
I don't know anybody else who would have ever done that.
Have you slept? Wow.
Oh, yeah. I got 4 hours.
Okay.
Slept on the plane. I'm so rude on the plane, though. I get in, everybody wants to chat it up. The chatty Cathy's, just oh, where you from? Where you going? Are you going for travel or business? And I just put my earbuds in and I go to sleep.
Big time sports announcer. Hey, Mr. Big Time Sports Announcer.
And he is.
Right. I was listening to you when you talked about how you felt like a little dinky sports announcer the first time you broadcast a Brewer game with Bob Uecker in the booth next to you and Vin Scully in the booth on the other side of you.
Wow, indeed.
Oh, my God. I had so much anxiety and just fear pouring out of every pore I had, and just I didn't belong. Imposter syndrome. I did not feel like I belonged there. That was the day I was doing your radio show, and Rock left me. I was following him in. Remember? I don't know if you guys did. I ever tell you the story?
No.
So we did your radio show live. Rock took me in there opening day. And then I followed him to the ballpark. Well, I've just gotten to town. I don't know anything. I don't know the roads. He cuts across 3 lanes of traffic to get on General Mitchell.
Yeah.
And, we're coming up Hawley, and then we get on the highway, and I don't know that. So now I'm stuck in traffic, and it's the opening day traffic. So literally got lost, got stuck. And John Walsh, our terrific producer back in those days, he's our director now, he had to send a golf cart to come get me.
So
a runner jumped in my car and waited in traffic. I got the golf cart and because I was going to miss the pregame show. So yeah,
I've never heard that one. I didn't know a sub driver.
Rock, let's hear what this
Pat the arm and the sub driver comes in.
From your angle. What did you know he was following you?
No, not me.
Bill Schroeder. Bill Schroeder Rock. I was thinking it was you, and I was thinking, why? Okay.
The real Rock, yeah.
Stephanie, can you again explain what's happening?
Okay. I was nice to you.
There's a lot of rocks around here.
TV announcer and radio rock.
Yeah.
PA announcer.
Are you guys wearing helmets right now?
The first time you were ever on with us was at spring training. Do you remember that?
Oh, of course.
And Bill Schroeder brought you in. Bill brought you in to introduce you as the new announcer. I think you replaced, did you replace Vasgersian or Darren Sutton? Darren Sutton, yeah. And we're fairly familiar with those guys. And Bill brings the new guy in. And we were cracking up. We were having a great time with Bill. And you were like, I I'm the play-by-play guy. I better not screw around too much.
Yeah. I had no idea what my purpose was in this whole, this whole thing. I'm very serious about it all.
Because we were cracking up about,
like I know you now.
We were cracking up about Bill getting blown up in the clubhouse. Remember?
Oh yeah, yeah. He was standing in the middle of that clubhouse.
Literally blown up.
He literally was blown up in Chandler at spring training. Yeah, in the clubhouse, staggered out.
Yeah,
hilarious.
There used to be a guy when I was in the minor leagues. There was a guy, you had these traveling entertainment acts, like obviously the famous Chicken is the most famous, but then you'd have guys like Myron Noodleman and, the Superstars and all these things. But there was a guy who literally blew himself up.
Oh, yeah.
That was his gig. It was the whole thing. He was like kind of a poor man's Evel Knievel, and he put himself in a coffin.
Yep,
and
box.
Flew up and right at second base between innings.
I think I've seen video of that guy. Didn't he?
I first saw him. It was like the Enquirer or the Weekly World News did it. They did a whole series of pictures. Here he is in his cape, and he trots out and he gets in his box.
Was, Captain Dynamite was his name.
Yeah,
He at the drag track too, drag races.
Captain Blammo, Captain Dynamite, Captain.
That's as good as the guy.
We wanted to interview him on the radio once, doing minor league radio, and his handler said, he'd love to do that, but as you can imagine, he has hearing issues.
He's a little jumpy too.
He is.
That's every bit as good as the guy who used to take the cannonball to the stomach. Remember?
Oh yeah. Those are great images. You got to be of a certain age to remember those that film stock. But yeah, I remember that.
And the guy who took the cannonball to the stomach, he wasn't going to take any chances. He wore goggles.
Right to the. He had a shirt off, but he wore goggles.
Eye protection, very important.
I don't want to lose an eye.
Your listening audience even remembers Evel Knievel. Evel Knievel was the dude. I had, all those action figures and man, jumping over the Grand Canyon and.
Now that you've
crazy stuff.
Now that you've been here for a while and you know
if you go to you're not working hard anyway. You folks that are listening in your cubicles, just go to the Google.
And watch him go.
Captain Dynamite, and there he is.
Is it? You found it?
Yeah, he's right here. Here he is staggering around
there he is. I remember that guy.
He looks very old.
It looks like he's looking for his watch.
He does look old. Yeah. He looks like 80.
And then they go cart the waste
dynamite.
Off. I can't help but think that really messes up the infield for the game most of the time.
The cleanup was unbelievable. It was like, can you imagine being the second baseman over there?
No.
Let's say you're from the Dominican Republic and you're in the minor leagues, and this guy comes out and blows himself up at second base, and you're probably thinking, what in the world am I getting myself into?
How many times did you see Captain Dynamite actually?
Every year. I was in the minor leagues 9 years. I couldn't get out of the Texas League.
So 9 times you saw this guy crawl into the box.
I saw all those guys. I saw Google Myron Noodleman. He was great. He's no longer with us. Myron Noodleman. Who else? Obviously the Chicken. I'll think of some more the Superstars, they were always a big hit.
Rock, we have to post a link to Captain Dynamite. It's to our website, to our Facebook page.
We talked about this on an album.
We did, but it was at the drag race,
right?
Yeah. Now,
Captain
just to be clear,
dead. What happened?
Yeah,
we're not endorsing Captain Dynamite.
Right.
It was a different time.
Right. But I'm not against it either.
He probably made $1,000 to show up at all these cities. He had a big bus, though. He had a team.
So it paid well.
How'd you like to be part of his team,
Well, he has got the 4 dudes.
Baseball cities.
Those could be, but those could be grounds keepers. Those could be guys who drag the infield too. That dragged out his dynamite bed.
We would have these concerts all the time, and I always remember it'd be like, instead of Earth, Wind, and Fire, it was Earth, Wind, and Flame. It's like one member, the keyboardist from the original Earth, Wind, and Fire band. And they would pitch that, and that was a group, too. There was a thing where you'd always have these musical acts that would play after the game. And it was like one member of some famous band, Creedence Clearwater Revival, but without John Fogerty.
Yeah, that breakup was bad, so...
The Temptations with the son of one of the original Temptations. They weren't even the. And it was so sad because there'd be nobody there. Everybody'd be leaving the ballpark after the game. And, of course, it would always rain. And these guys are out there on a truck bed, on a trailer, second base, performing in the rain.
Right. And you'd have and you'd kind of sit there and go, well, let's stay till the second song. Let's not just leave now, Let's.
Yeah. It's just because we feel bad for them. Everybody, come on the field if you like. Everybody was going the other way. Going up the stairs to the parking lot. Oh, so depressing, man. I'm telling you.
The minor leagues of any sports are really kind of fascinating.
It's rough. It toughens you up
because it isn't ever just about the sport.
That was our mascot, the Henry the Puffy Taco, and go ahead and Google that while you're in the Google. The Henry the Puffy Taco was literally a taco, and the bit was. The kid would start at second base, and the taco would start at third base, and the kid would run him down and tackle him like steer dog him at home plate. I mean, it was violent. He had jalapeno peppers were his feet, were his shoes.
Yeah.
He had lettuce in front, and his hat was a tomato.
Of course.
Henry the Puffy Taco, man. He was a legend.
And what? And
oh, my gosh.
We're looking at him. We're looking at Henry the Puffy Taco right now. He's dancing.
He's kind of like dancing and boxing.
He had a dance. Yeah. And our other mascot was Ballapina.
Yeah.
That's the googly-eyed. Yeah,
that was the newer version.
Oh, they're not showing him getting run down there. They're just showing him dancing
in front of the dugout.
Oh, no. You'll find the violence that was. I mean, they thought it was funny because the guy who put the suit on, that wasn't a real thing, the Puffy Taco. That was a person inside that, just for everybody's disclaimer. That guy was like, probably, he was a little person. He was like 4'11" or, like something like that.
Under 5, yeah.
They would always get the
here he is rounding the bases. Yeah, here comes the kid.
Here
comes the kid.
Oh, he's going to tackle.
He's kind of there are people standing in the way, but the taco's not getting up.
Oh, and then the kid puts his foot on the taco.
You got to put your foot on him
and raises his arms.
And he's like let's go.
Yeah. That was a race.
So was there a prize? Did you get?
It was the Puffy Taco race.
Did you get a taco or a coupon for 3 or a dozen tacos if you caught Puffy the Taco?
I'm sure you did. I'm sure there was some promotion like that. I always remember my boss, our general manager, always hated the Puffy Taco, but he couldn't get rid of him because he was so famous. But they didn't own the mascot, so they didn't get any rights out of it or any money out of appearances for the taco. It was the restaurant. It was the Mexican restaurant called Henry's Puffy Taco.
Right, and the ballpark owned what? The green guy?
Ballapino.
They thought they were going to be sneaky, and that's when they introduced Ballapino, and everybody hated Ballapino.
Why? I love him. I love him too. He's totally dancing right now. Yeah, it's a dance-off.
Yeah, well, I mean, we tried to make him famous, but, once you're a legend,
right,
you're a legend. It's not up to us to determine who our legends are.
Got to be sincere. It can't just be a commercial.
Hey, when you were in the minors, did you guys ever have the Barney or the chicken in and watch him kick Barney's ass or anything like that?
Oh yeah, the chicken was the regular. His name was Ted Giannoulis.
Yeah, and
he was actually a legit guy. Obviously, he was very famous. Morgana, the kissing bandit, was a regular. She would come to the minor leagues. Another Google if you don't know that name, but she basically would run on the field and kiss the batter in the middle of the game.
Yeah, run up to home plate, right? I mean, did she ever go anywhere but home plate?
She would stop the game. She would run out the middle of the game was the bit. She literally only had one thing to do, and then she signed autographs. And Morgana, the kissing bandit, and then the chicken, he was kind of the original. He was the OG. And he was hilarious. He would coach first. He would have all these posters of, different kind of scenes that you could never show today, but he would unfurl the poster trying to distract the pitcher. And he would, instead of laying eggs, he would lift up his tail and like 6 baseballs fall out. It was the whole thing, man. He was great, and he did have a real nice bust, like a musician, a touring artist. And he always used to say, he goes, they don't pay me 7 figures for nothing to be a chicken.
He started in San Diego. He was the KGB
chicken from the radio station.
Correct.
And other places wanted to hire him out, and he was, I don't know, like moonlighting with the KGB radio chicken suit.
And he went to court with KGB, and
so he kind of went rogue, went on his own.
He and the Fanatic were kind of the OGs, the first dude that started the mascot thing, and then the Fanatic had a whole spinoff of all these other characters that would go around to the minor leagues and make those appearances. So oh man,
do you feel like you
and I were in the minor leagues together? You mentioned Vasgersian, so we were in the Texas League together in '94. He was in El Paso, and I was in San Antonio, and we used to have all kind of hijinks. Matt and I, we pranks on each other, and we used to throw water balloons on the field during batting practice, and like the softball-sized water balloons, and we would throw it and hide, and they didn't know where the water was coming from. Yeah, we had all kind of stuff that we did, man. I want to say it was a blast, and it was, but man, were we miserable just trying to get out of that.
Well, you showed up here, I would say, just in time for the Brewers this year, because what a miserable start in New York.
Oh, showed up this year. Yeah. No, I missed the first 3 games, thank goodness.
Yeah.
But I did catch the home opener, which was a little bit more of the same. And then all of a sudden, I think the Brewers pitching staff gave up 47 runs in the first 4 games, and they've only given up 2 since. So it's been quite the correction. And it's been a golden era. Bigger picture for me, I got here in 07, and, the team has been a regular contender and regular postseason entrant. So, and they'll be good again this year. They've got a really good team. Stephanie knows, and I mean, she's been around the guys, like a lot of talent, great bullpen. So they'll be a contender this year, I think.
I'm excited to see more of Jackson Churio and just what he can do and what he can bring. I just think he's an exciting player.
Like generational type player.
Yep.
And now I know the Brewers signed him before he ever set foot on a Major League Baseball diamond. And they got him 8 years, $80 million. That seems like, wow, what a bargain at this point, don't you think?
Yeah, it's going to be. I'm sure they'll have to, if he keeps trending like this. I mean, it's good for him. It's obviously bought him out all of his what they call controllable years. So you're controlled by the organization for 6 years, and then you become a free agent. You do, after 3 years, go into what they call arbitration, and meaning if you're having great years and putting up big numbers, you can get a fair salary for players who are making that or performing that way. So I mean, it's a lot of control for the Brewers, and for him, it's life-changing money. It changes his life immediately and protects him from injuries and whatnot. So it's a good deal, and you're seeing a lot. Carl just did a similar deal with the Padres, and I think Evan Longoria was the first guy I ever heard that got a deal before he played a game in the majors. And I think that was maybe 07, and it worked out well for Tampa Bay, and it'll be the same for Jackson. He's a star, man. Like, as long as he stays healthy, and seems like he's well wired, to be healthy, and so I think it's a good risk to take for the Brewers.
Brian Anderson from the Brewers joining us this morning on the MACC Fund Radiothon. You call baseball, you call basketball, you've called golf, right?
Yep.
You worked at the Golf Channel.
That golf voice.
What's your what haven't you called yet that you would like to be part of?
It's actually I'm really pumped to jump into the tennis world for the first time. So
Ooh.
TNT bought the rights. Their rights deal came up, Roland Garros, which we know as the French Open, which they hate that we call it the French Open over there.
Really?
But it's called Roland Garros, and it's a Grand Slam event on the tennis circuit, between the Aussie Open and then, of course, U.S. Open later in the year. So those are the 4. and the rights deal came up, and we got it. We got it from NBC. Of course, TNT lost the NBA, so they immediately pivoted and picked up rights to Roland Garros for the next 10 years. They got rights to the Big 12 basketball, regular season, Big East basketball. So I decided not to chase the NBA and to stay with TNT Sports, my other job with the Brewers, and I'm going to do all of that. And so Roland Garros was a part of it, and I've never called tennis.
Tennis.
Give him a second. Never called tennis, but
the guy that's only paid attention to the Grand Slams. But now, since September, I've been all in, and I can't wait. Cannot wait to be a part of that.
Is tennis a little easier to call because you kind of let the point play out? It's not more of a play-by-play or you do color, I suppose, after.
Heavy analyst-driven. You're right. Our analysts are world class. I mean, we've got, and it was just announced a couple of days ago, Andre Agassi is going to join our coverage. And we're not just doing the semis and the finals like a lot of networks do. We're actually first ball to last ball. We're going to be there from the start, 2 weeks, the fortnight, and we've got it all. And we're going to debut, it's going to be similar to what you would know as the Red Zone channel. So we're going to have all matches on a digital stream and on linear. We'll have our match coverage. We'll have pre- and post-game shows. Bleacher Report is a part of that as well. So it's the full complement. I mean, we're going all in with this, and I couldn't be more excited. I mean, I've always wanted to do tennis. I've never been with a network that did tennis, and now I am. And so, yeah, I can't wait.
I think the last time I remember a network actually having tennis, it was CBS back when I was a kid. Back when like Bjorn Borg and McEnroe were Rod Laver was at the end of his career, all that stuff. Yeah. Or
the networks have picked up usually the semis and the finals. NBC would have it, and obviously all the years at CBS, what you're talking about, but most of that was weekend. It's very similar to golf, where golf would, back in the day would only televise the weekends and the back nine, 2-hour broadcast of. So it's all different now, and we're the U.S. TNT Sports also has, we own Eurosport as well, so we're kind of already in that game in Europe. Warner Brothers Discovery owns all of that, including TNT Sports. So we're just going to piggyback on their complement, and we'll be the U.S. carrier for Roland Garros. And I know they want more tennis, and obviously adding the college basketball too. We're going to be back in the Big East. So for me to be able to get back and call Marquette games is exciting.
So I guess what you're saying is you're looking to wind down over the next year or so, right?
It just changes. I won't be doing the NBA, so that's going to be a sad chapter for me. I've been part of the NBA since 1992 on some level, on the air since 99 with the Spurs. But yeah, my NBA days are over for now, and
not too long.
Picking it up.
Those things are always getting bounced around, though.
Yeah.
See,
yeah, for sure.
I don't want you to drive home, mopey now because you're thinking about. No, I
was feeling good.
Just thinking of Puffy Taco again.
That's true.
And Captain Blammo.
That's true.
No. I think 3 weeks in Paris in late May and June is going to be just fine.
I was about to ask, how long were you going to be there?
Stephanie played tennis.
I did.
She was state champion.
I was.
Stephanie Sutton was state champion in high school. Did you know?
Stephanie?
In Wisconsin, in doubles. My sister and I won a state championship. We really had a dynasty at Brookfield Central back in the day because our team also won state like almost every year as well. But,
nice. Yeah. Okay.
So, and I was
be my tennis Yoda.
I could be your. I was a ball girl for Andre Agassi at the Bradley Center. I remember that was a big thing.
Oh wow!
What do you mean a ball girl?
The women's game, as you know, Stephanie, the women's game is. There are more stars in the women's game than there are the men's game.
That's why I love
now.
tennis.
And yeah, it's really great.
And the money's the same for the women as the men?
Contingency. I just found this out. I was in Paris in November. I went to Roland Garros, and I did not know this, but, the French Open, Roland Garros, was the first to have equal pay for men and women, and that was that was really driving through Billie Jean King. This was like back in the 70s. So they're 50-plus years of equal purses for the men's draw and the women's draw, which
I did
is
not know that.
tremendous.
Wow.
And, yeah, we've got a lot of great, women from the United States that are coming to prominence. I think there's 5 in the top 10 right now. And Madison Keys just won the Australian Open. So the U.S. women are huge celebrities in the game, and it's great fun to cover the U.S. women too. The men's side is always interesting and fun, but I'm actually really looking forward to covering the women's side as well, which I will do at Roland Garros this year with Lindsay Davenport.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be very exciting. We're all very excited for you, Brian. This is a great opportunity for you. But we want to thank you for helping us with the MACC Fund. You have been a regular around here during the Radiothon for years. I don't know how many years now, but you have been a regular, like, yeah, I'll do it. Sign me up. Just tell me when I have to call. So we appreciate that.
Always. You guys do a great thing every year, and the MACC Fund is a special entity, and if you know it, and you guys shine a big light on it, and I appreciate that. And obviously, Children's Hospital is a shining light too in what they do, and I'm affiliated with them, and I'm one of their ambassadors, and we do a lot of projects with them. So it's a great thing, and we can use these platforms to continue to raise money, raise awareness, and do whatever we need to do to try to make this all better.
And anytime you can help fight cancer and learn about Captain Dynamite.
Yes.
Right.
All in.
That's what we bring to the table. We take you down dark holes so we can entertain. But yeah,
clues on what to look up on YouTube. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it.
See you guys.
Brian Anderson, back on the MACC Fund Radiothon, 102.9 The Hog.
Help give the gift of hope. More of your favorite athletes and special guests still to come during the Bob and Brian Radiothon to benefit the MACC Fund. Presented by Window Nation on 102.9 The Hog.